Hello students of class 11. Today I am here with the last part of the story We Are Not Afraid to Die. So in the last part we have seen that narrator's children, they said that his son especially, he said that he was not afraid to die since they were all together. He was with his mother, father and his sister. So obviously narrator was the father. So it was very sad for the father to hear such a thing from his son. So he made up his mind that no matter whatever happens, he will definitely do something to save his children and to save himself as well, because the boat was in a very bad condition. The ship, rather, Wave Walker, was in a very bad condition. The right hand side was completely broken. Though they were trying very hard to pump out the water along with the two crewmen, Larry and Harp Segler, but still it was not possible for them to keep the ship out of water, free of water. So narrator now started making certain calculations and tried to find out how much time will it take for them to reach the island, which was very close to the place where they were at that particular time. So that evening he was sitting along with his wife. They were holding each other's hands as they thought that they were very close to the end. They thought that everything will end, they won't be able to survive. They were very worried. But surprisingly, the damaged Wave Walker rode out that bad weather, that storm, and came the morning of January 6. January 6 in the morning, the wind started becoming a bit slow. Narrator was trying to read on the instrument which measures angles and distances, which is known as sextant. He was trying to read on his sextant. He went to his chart room. He worked on the wind speed. He worked on changes of course, drift and current. And he was trying to calculate his position, where they were exactly at that time. The best that he could determine was that they were somewhere 150,000 kilometers of the ocean, and they were looking for a 65-kilometer wide island. That was Isle Amsterdam. While he was thinking very hard what to do, how to save his children and his family, his daughter came to him. She was now having a very big bump above her head, above her eyes, which was very big in size. Her eyes were blackened, but she came and she gave narrator a card. On the front of the card she had drawn some caricatures of her father and mother, and she had written, "Here are some funny people, did they make you laugh?" And narrator and I laughed a lot as well. Inside she had written a message for her father, and he said it was written that "Oh, how I love you both." So this card is to say thank you and let's hope for the best. Somehow we had to make it. So narrator, after seeing so much positivity in his children, the children were very optimistic. Narrator also became optimistic, and narrator made up his mind that no matter whatever happens, he will definitely come out of this problem. He will definitely reach the island successfully. So he rechecked his calculations. They had lost their main compass. He was using a spare one, but the spare one also was not having very corrected magnetic variation. About 2 p.m., narrator went to the deck and asked Larry to steer the ship at a degree of 185. Okay? And he said that if they were lucky enough, then within 5 o'clock, by 5 o'clock in the evening, they will be able to reach the island. They will be able to see the island that they were searching for. And And then with a heavy heart he went down and he went to his own bunk, and he was so dead tired and tense at the same time that he dozed off. He went to sleep. When he woke up, it was around 6 p.m. in the evening. They had not reached the island yet. And narrator was very sure that they must have missed the island, and with the cell that was left, he was not very hopeful that they will be able to move long with that in that condition. At that moment, when narrator had lost all faith and narrator started believing that they are going to die now, his son came to him and he wanted to give him a hug. Narrator was very surprised. He asked why was he getting a hug. The son replied that because narrator was the best dad and the best captain in the world. Narrator could not understand why was he saying so. So he asked what was the reason. He said that because he was able to find out that island. They had reached that island. They were very close to that island, the island that he had been searching for, and now they were all safe. That was really a very good news for narrator. He ran on the deck and he was so relieved to see the outline of the Isle Amsterdam. It was just a very bare, you can say, piece of rock. The island was a bare piece of rock with very little vegetation. But for narrator at that time, that was the most beautiful island in the world. They anchored offshore for the night, and the next morning there were 28 inhabitants of the island. They helped them to get down, and they were, once they alighted from the ship, they were so happy to touch the ground, to feel the ground under their feet. Now they were sure that they were all alive. They were out of danger once again. And narrator has said at the end of the story that his children were so brave that though they received so much injury at the time when the wave broke down on the ship, still they did not bother their father, and they remained so optimistic, so hopeful. After completing their voyage, once they reached home, there were 6 minor operations took place, after which there was a blood clot between the skin and the skull of that 7-year-old girl, and 6 operations had to be done to remove that clotting. But she was so brave that at that time she did not want to bother her father. So narrator was very thankful, very happy, and thus they were all saved. So this is the end of the story, student.